You're gone.
Okay, I've gone on. Going on, that is. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, Syria, civil unrest, Isaiah 17. One of the first things I did when I started my YouTube venture was to put on some prophecy about what the Lord has said to me about different things going on in our government. Some prophecies, Ezekiel 38, Isaiah 17, and I want to talk about Isaiah 17 today. I want to read to you exactly what it's talking about, Isaiah 17. Now, there's a lot of things that can happen that look like, and some people say that Isaiah 17 did happen years ago, but excuse me, for one basic reason, it's impossible that that could have happened. Okay, and that basic reason is that Damascus is still standing. And after Isaiah 17 takes place, Damascus will be no more. It's literally, the Bible says, a ruinous heap. Isaiah 17:1 says it will be a ruinous heap. I want to read to you in the King James. Literally, there's 14 verses here, and it's laid out like a news report that happened yesterday. Listen to some of this, okay? The burden of Damascus. Behold, Damascus is taken away from being a city, and shall be a ruinous heap. The cities of Aor are forsaken. They shall be for flocks which shall lie down, and none shall make them afraid. So there's going to be more than just Damascus involved in this, and of course the whole country of Syria is going to be affected through this, and also parts of Lebanon, which is a country just bordered Syria, just on the, I think it's just on the western border there of Syria. So verse 3, the fortress shall cease from Ephraim, and the kingdom from Damascus, and the remnant of Syria. They shall be as the glory of the children of Israel. Israel, this is going to be a war between them and Israel. It's going to, and all that, this unrest you're seeing there, when chaos happens, man, the devil takes over, and when the devil takes over, the good have to defend themselves. And all this, what you're seeing, is leading up to this war between Syria and Israel and parts of Lebanon, because Hezbollah, who is the terrorist group that's taking that place over, and everybody's trying to stop it. And we, you know, looking at it from this point, we can't tell for sure what's going on there. All we can do is look at what has happened in the past, and people who say they're trying to help. Right now, Russia is over there blowing things up and trying to get everything under control, but it doesn't really seem that a whole lot is taking place. And literally, the Bible tells us that Russia and Iran will orchestrate this whole thing when it happens. That means that Russia will cause, whatever Russia does will cause them to attack Israel, and Israel would defend themselves. And there's a lot of weapons up there that they have waiting to shoot off at Israel. They have like 40,000 missiles on the, last I heard, on the border of Syria, ready to launch into Israel. And from the way I heard that report, it was almost like they was getting ready to do it yesterday, you know, something that they had. And here's some news I wanted to put on about it. This is a report, BBC News 3 hours ago. This report is 3 hours old, okay? And I hope this is not a video. I didn't really want to get a video here. Okay. King Abdullah of Jordan says his country is at boiling point. This is according to this has to do with the Syria conflict because of the refugees going into Jordan. Okay. And all the things that's going on with that. Now this kind of thing is happening all around the world. We just came through that ordeal with Syria, or refugees coming from Syria, and it's still in our courts whether they can come or not. So it's wrapped up in our courts here in the United States. This report says ahead of a donor conference on Syria, the king told the BBC that there was enormous pressure on Jordan's social services, infrastructure, and economy. Sooner or later, I think the dam is going to break, he warned. I'm not sure what dam he was talking about. He said the international community would have to offer more help if it wanted Jordan to keep taking refugees. The UN is seeking a 7.7 billion. That'd be 5.4 billion lire to fund aid operations for 22.5 million people in Syria and neighboring countries next year. However, 43% of its 2015 appeal for the 2.9 billion was funded. Okay, and see, we look at this just as a conflict, but this thing is it's all about Israel, and it's all about Syria, because see, once that area is taken over, Damascus is not going to be destroyed by anybody else but Israel. This huge war that's coming, and all this, and I've heard people say, well, there's going to be war there. They have war no matter what. They're always having war over there. And but Christ told us that one of the signs is going to be wars and rumors of wars. In other words, it's in an escalated position. It's a lot more of it than what there ever were before. When he talked about pestilence in the last days, that meant it's going to be an escalation of it. Not like it was never there before, but there's a higher escalation. When he talked about the earthquakes and the natural disasters that's coming to the world, he was talking about an escalation of those. And you can go and look and compare the time that we're in now to diseases and earthquakes, man-made disasters and natural disasters that man has nothing to do with. And either one of those that you want to look at, you're going to find that there's probably a 4,000% increase in all of those. And men they're just getting used to living there. They're saying, well, this is just the way things are. No, this is not just the way things are. Man, this is leading up to the last days. The Syrian conflict, war, continuous war, BBC. You can go on the internet just about anywhere you want to look, and you can see that this thing is leading up to something really big. Something real, just like this guy said here, the dam is about to break. And I agree with that, by the way. I'm not sure which dam he was talking about, but the one I was talking about is the big one between, see, because of Syria and Israel, the big one between Syria and Israel, because, see, this is, all those countries have always hated, they look at Israel like it is a plague, like they're the problem that's causing everything to be out of array. And you know something? You can talk to most of the secular people in the world, any place, and they'll tell you the same thing. I've had people come into my shop over there and say they hated Israel, and the only reason they could give me for that was because they have more money. They've got it all. They've got it all. You know what the Bible says in the last days? The Bible says that in the last days they will come at them looking for a spoil. Now I'll tell you right where that's at. Just give me a second and I'll tell you exactly where that is, okay? Alright. And the answer is Zechariah 2:8. Or is it Isaiah 42? Let's see which one it is. I think it's Isaiah 42:24. Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to robbers? Did not the Lord, he against whom we have sinned, for they would not walk in his ways, neither be obedient to his law. In other words, that's coming because of the last days. Because of how Israel was in times past, they were disobedient to the Lord. And that's why that's happening. Okay. So, but there's another place that explains it a little better than that, and I'll try to have that put on for you, where it talks about Israel and Syria in the last days. It's in Ezekiel 38. Okay. Now if you'll hang with me just a second longer, we will go right there to Ezekiel 38, since I remembered that, and we'll look for it. Okay. This is how I find all my information. Okay. Ezekiel 38:13 it's saying here. Yeah, this is the one I was talking about right here. Sheba and Dedan and the merchants of Tarshish with all the young lions thereof shall say unto thee, Art thou come to take a spoil? Hast thou gathered thy company to take a prey, to carry away silver and gold, and take away cattle and goods, to take a great spoil? That's the verse I was talking about. So that is exactly what they're planning on doing. They look at Israel like if we could just get rid of that. But you know what? The problem isn't Israel. The problem is in their heart. They need to find who the real God is. The truth is out there, if they just go looking for it. Alrighty. God bless you. Thank you for joining with me and having patience today. See you next time. Crossing the Middle Ministry.